Come on down and bring us the money, honey.
How much money you got, honey?
See? And we're up.
This has got it, yeah.
Just like that. Episode 5 of Mission Statements, a Delta Bravo Urban Exploration Team podcast. With, I'm going to say, my newfound friend over here. Now, I don't want to butcher your last name, but I'm going to give it a really good attempt. Phil Greshayev.
Grishayev.
I don't know. God damn. Okay. I was close, man.
Very close.
Very close. How are you, brother?
Good. Living the dream.
Yeah. Oh, you're over there in Cali, huh?
Yep. It's nice and hot in here.
In there or in Cali in general?
Well, in my place too, yeah, but mostly in Cali. It's just it gets like, cold nights, hot days. So
it's getting hot here in Brooklyn, and in July I have a road trip coming up, and it's going to be brutal. Texas, 105 degrees and shit. I'm not looking forward to the heat, but it's going to be fun anyway. So yeah, you would think that being from the Northeast, myself, born and raised, that I would like the winter and shit. I hate extreme cold and I hate the heat. It's got to be like 75 with a breeze and I'm happy. Other than that, I'm not a fan.
And it's so humid in New York. It's crazy.
That's the shit that kills me. It could be 90 degrees, and if there's a breeze, I can deal with it. But when it's 90 and still, and it's like soup outside, not having it.
Yeah, I was there literally 3 weeks ago, and I was sweating like Marlon Brando after a Mexican meal.
Nice.
It's so intense. I was just, you walk out of the place, you fully on wet. Don't touch me, don't look at me, just let me be. Let me just go back to my place.
Brando at the end of Apocalypse Now? Gross.
Have you ever seen him not sweating?
No.
He was already fucking wearing all the shirts, all sweating and shit. Yeah, you never see him not sweating. Well, maybe the Godfather, but
he was probably sweating. They probably cut so many times and patted him down because his makeup was running. Sure. Oh shit. So, well, I'm not good. Well, were you born and raised in Cali or no?
No. I migrated about 11 years ago from Poland. I was born in Russia.
That's why Nako calls you the Mad Russian.
Yeah, I was born in Russia. I left Russia when I was like 4 or 5, I think 5 or something, to Warsaw, Poland.
Okay.
Yeah, and I lived there for a while. My grandma, she lives in Germany, and so it's like all different. I had to speak all different languages with them all the time. So.
Oh, that's cool. I don't speak nothing but moronic Brooklyn. That's all I speak.
Good enough.
I guess it gets me by,
Yeah.
Oh shit. So now, what I have to get into it because obviously this is the 5th episode, and people who do listen and watch, they already have the gist. A lot of Delta Bravo guys obviously tune in, but my whole point here, well, not my whole point, is to have maybe other people that aren't really interested or don't realize they're interested in finding locations or whatever, because I was one of those people until I found Delta Bravo and whatever, to maybe spark something in them to get them out of the house, or maybe if they're on their phone, they're doing something constructive, like maybe trying to track down a location of one of their favorite movies as a kid or whatever. How long have you been doing this, and what was that catalyst? Everyone knows that turning point, at least I do, where you realize you were interested in something kind of, which is a very small niche thing of where certain things of my favorite movies were actually filmed and visiting them. A lot of people, the majority, don't have that, but some of us really take it seriously. It's like a big passion. And I think we might be oddballs, but it's awesome, and I don't care what anyone thinks.
Yeah, some of them too seriously too.
It's bad sometimes. It's a sickness, man.
Yeah, I actually do like the drama sometimes. I just like deep inside, I want to see the drama, and
Right.
No, I did the whole thing. I started when I was before I even knew Delta Bravo or anything. I was back in 2005 or 6 when I first came to US. I was basically raised on watching the movies from the 80s, like the Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, all that stuff. And for some reason, I always wanted to see the place, how it looked like. Because, just the fact you can go to a different place, the Great America, the West End, the jeans, Mickey Mouse, Cadillacs, all that thing was already surreal for me, let alone see the place from the movie.
Yeah.
And, so once we're like, Mom, we're going to go to New York. Yeah, we're going to go to New York. Yeah. First thing you think about New York is Home Alone. Oh my God. So we flew to New York, and then I think from there we just there for a couple of days. It was nothing else. But then we flew out to LA, and I actually had a little map of spots I wanted to see. I have like my Ghostbusters Millennium Biltmore Hotel, which is like a culture spot to do. But when you're going with your parents, you don't really have time for that stuff because you only been there for like 5-6 days. You got to see the Universal Studios, the Walk of Fame, all that bullshit that every tourist goes.
Yes.
Got the Hollywood sign. Let me hold it. Look, I'm eating Hollywood sign.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have time to look at some alley or some house from the movie that no one really like
right.
that. Yeah. So that was my first thing. And then when I moved to US about 2010, that's when I was like sort of looking for the whole thing, like just discovering the places around me, the history and stuff. And then I noticed there's a Facebook group called Delta Bravo. Oh, look at that. Look at these nerds. What are they doing?
Yeah.
Like wearing some hats, like posing and all that stuff. I was looking at these guys and say, wait, they do the same thing as I do. Yeah. And back then I had a little Tumblr account. It was no Instagram, it was Tumblr.
Yeah.
Putting pictures on Tumblr, it was just for my own thing. I didn't post, just a picture of the place then and place now, just to see how much it changed, and getting the same things. That was fun. And then I think I had 2 radio interviews thanks to Tumblr. I was on the NPR twice, I believe, because of the Tumblr thing. This guy travels around LA, looks for iconic spots, whatever.
Yeah.
That was fun thing. And then I think I got like 4,000 followers on Tumblr, which is, I don't know if it's a big deal or not. And then I think slowly I figured out, what if I just pose with the picture, like just do a little pose, not necessarily like the same outfit. That would be uber nerdy. And too, just to see you can actually go there if you're a fan and also pose for fun.
Sure.
So I did that, and then I optimized my whole thing into Instagram. Have a little square picture side by side, a little date in the corner, and that's it. And just basically you're scrolling down in the morning, your stuff, you're the shitter looking at picture. Oh look, there's a new spot. Give him a like. That's it. Super quick, super easy. Nothing major.
Right.
Yeah, that was fun. That's how we started.
And then you found Delta Bravo, and then you jumped right in with all of us. Actually, you obviously listen. I'm a late comer. I was watching a little bit in around 2016, and then after I think I did like 1 or 2 spots. So I like true crime and stuff like that. I think the first one that I did was right by my house, and it was the fire hydrant where David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, wound up getting the parking ticket, and that's what eventually got him caught. That was my first one. And then after that, I met Danny Boy in Philly personally for the first time to actually have a conversation. Like I briefly said what's up to him years and years ago with like a House of Pain show, but nothing for nothing, you know what I mean? And then I was, we were talking about Delta Bravo, and he's like, oh, do you know Naco? And I was like, I've seen his name and this and that. And then we started really talking about it. And it kind of like, I was like, this is a thing where I can actually, I've always been interested in it. Now it's a place where I could actually share it and not just keep it for myself, So then I just jumped right in, and I do you see the stuff that I post, everything from horror movies that cost $20 to make in 1980, terrible movies that no one's ever heard of, to true crime, to mob stuff, to the iconic, stuff that a lot of people done. Like everyone's done the Warriors, but who cares? I've done it too because I'm like 3 miles from Coney Island. So I can go to Coney Island like any day of the weekend and hit a spot just because I'm there. And I do that. I work right by Grand Central Station. I've hit so much in Grand Central. I know you have too, North by Northwest. I just recently seen that one.
Yeah, just a few shots, yeah.
Yeah, but I work literally like 100 feet from the actual main terminal. So I pass through there every single day. So if I'm bored and I feel like I haven't posted anything, there's always a Grand Central shot, Always.
Nice. Yeah. I met Danny actually because he was doing a birthday party or something. They were doing a live recording of the Delta Bravo show at the Robert's coffee shop.
Okay.
The guy from Fast Times and Rhythm High. Yeah.
Yes. Robert Romanus.
That's the guy. He had a coffee shop in the valley, and I showed up with a bottle of vodka. I had no idea he doesn't drink. I just like.
Of course, you showed up with a bottle of vodka.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is this? I showed up with a bottle. Yeah, but my was pretty cool. And then I think we were talking this and that. So he's a pretty cool guy, like fucking tall as fuck. So yeah, that was a great.
Is he a tall guy?
He is a fucking tall guy. Yeah.
Really, I picture him to be like a little small guy. I don't know why.
Yeah, like a little Danny DeVito type. Yeah.
Yeah, a little Danny DeVito, little Flavor Flav types, the height guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we went to that school from the Fast Times Regiment High.
Yes.
He a janitor or something. He got some connections, and we got in there. We took some cool photos of the classroom. And if I stayed there for longer, I might have actually found the desk where Sean Penn was sitting, because they all look the same. Like nothing has changed. The same old stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I love when that stuff happens. It's not very often, but there's certain things, man, that's like, I can't believe after 60 years, like some things that I've done, like 40, like Friday the 13th and stuff like that. There's certain things that have not changed at all. Like you're walking down, like in Blairstown, New Jersey is where the original first Friday the 13th was filmed. You're walking down Main Street in the whole opening scene, and you're looking around and it's like you're in 1980. Nothing has changed.
That's not good.
It's not good, but then for someone like me, it's like I feel like I'm on a movie set. Like this is bizarre, certain houses, Goodfellas, across the street from each other where Ray Liotta pistol whips the guy in the driveway.
Yeah, that's shot.
And I look to the left and there's Karen's mother's house. And then and I'm standing in the middle of the street looking, and I feel like I'm in the movie because nothing has changed.
Now imagine the feeling of somebody who has never been to US, and for somebody who every street is basically a scene from the movie. Because we don't have those, when I came here to US first time, first of all, I loved Chevy Caprice, classic, the big boxy car from the 80s. Taxi Cab Caprice. This is a go-to car in every movie.
Right.
Every movie had that car. When I came here, it was already gone. It was already 90s, 2000s, they're gone. I was pissed. I was sad. I was like, shit. Where are they? Every time I see one, I'm like, I actually had one a couple years ago, but I still love those cars, And when you first came here, everything is a movie for you. Everything was just like it wasn't.
Yeah.
You were like a kid, yeah.
Yeah. How about in like Russia or anything? Did you ever go back and hit any spots in Russia or like Europe or around there, Poland, Warsaw? There's got to be some stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know off the top of my head, but
I did the Pianist. Adrian Brody, that was shot in actual Jewish ghetto on the east side of the Warsaw.
Really?
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I went to the theater to see it when it came out in 2000, I think 2001 or something. And then I read about the filming of it, which is crazy because they literally filmed it on that section where all the Jews were running around. And Polanski, they built a fake wall with like bricks with with the barbed wire and everything.
Yes.
And the people who live there, they will be freaking out. They'll be calling the cops, like, what's going on? Why does it says, Jews out, Juden raus in German?
Wow. Yeah, man.
Major flashbacks for them,
You think? I know, that's, yeah.
Yeah, if you watch the movie again, you see like some destroyed buildings in the background with like holes in them. They're still there, and there's still bullet holes in them. And bullets actually lodged in those things.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't fix them.
Wow. See, that's somewhere where I would love to go. I would love to just have a month of free time and money and and just go all over the place. I've never been to Europe and I would love to go. Right now, Steve Mona is in France. He's going to go to Normandy and stuff like that. Like, I need to, like, those are bucket list spots for me to go. Eventually, one day I'll make it there, but I love all that stuff, man. Obviously it's a completely different world from what I hear. I was never there, like I just said, but just to see all that old stuff, like buildings with bullet holes that are still blown out from World War II and stuff like that. Like, that's super interesting history and all that stuff for me.
Yeah, especially weird if you think about it, like in the perspective of time and space. Like if you're standing in a Jewish ghetto, you have a picture of what happened at Jewish ghetto with soldiers, and you're there, 60 years later. The only thing that separates you from them is the concept of time.
Sure.
There's no distance. You're out there with them, except there's a time is what's dividing you. That's pretty eerie.
Yeah, it's got to be a pretty heavy thing, man. Like,
yeah,
nuts. It's crazy.
When it comes to movies, it's a bit different thing, but history, movies, just everything that's happened. That's basically
Sure. No, 100%, without a doubt. Now, I have a question. How? Because if people don't know, which they should, or if I have new listeners or whatever, and they're unaware of the different, because everybody in the group has like their own little way of doing their mashes or their before and after or whatever. I try to mash one on top of the other as much as I can, unless, like, I was at the Lizzie Borden house not too long ago, where Lizzie Borden killed her father and her stepmother.
Yeah, I saw that in the photos.
Yeah, I can't mash. It's the same house, so it's like I just did like what you do, like a side by side or a top and bottom. Mm-hmm. So, but the difference with yours, and I see all of yours, and I look, I'm like, how does this guy, all of your angles, everything, it's like dead on. It's like, what is it? I'm not saying to give up the secrets, but what do you do? Like take like 1,000 pictures and then you just, what is it?
Well, it takes practice. Yeah, it takes practice. Well, first of all, you have a tripod with you. Always have a tripod.
Right.
Don't go there with the pictures. You take a tripod, you have a picture on your phone of the actual location, you have your phone, and you sort of try to match up the depth of field, the same length. And it's most of the time the movies were shot using the 50 mil because it's like that.
Right.
Perfectly portrait compressed thing. And then, once you got the height and everything, you take a photos, don't pose, just take a nice photo, a couple of them, just the left, right. And then, if you think it's good, just go in front of it, take a picture of yourself. And this one is fairly easy right now. It doesn't really,
Well, for you now, of course, because you're used to it, but it's incredible how you line up everything so perfectly, man.
Just my little OCD.
I think I know I have it. I have OCD too. When it comes to certain things, especially like lining things up, I'll get frustrated. I'll get pissed off. Like if I go and take a bunch of pictures and I'm completely off, like I won't even try to mash it together because it's not going to work. And maybe somebody will still think it's cool, but it's not cool enough for me and it's not going to sit well. So I'm not posting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah. It's also because humans, they love to compare things.
Right.
So when you have a picture of something side by side, you just want to look at, find 5 differences.
Right. Yeah.
When you have it aligned perfectly, it just makes it easier to register.
Sure. Yeah. Now, has there been any situations that you were in, no matter what locations there were, where you found yourself where you were in like a rough place to be, like I really shouldn't be here, like something might happen, people are pissed off that I'm here, or a rough neighborhood?
Well, the roughest one probably Philly, the Rocky area.
Oh shit, yeah. That's right, Rocky. That's Kensington area.
Yeah, it looked pretty ghetto, but I couldn't care less about it. For all the stuff I did for the 10 years of me going around places, I haven't had a single issue or incident or something that would happen. Like nobody even bothered me.
Really?
Nobody looked at me the wrong way,
Really?
Yep.
I've had a couple of little instances, but nothing too crazy.
No, nothing ever happened yet.
But
because of could be my funny accent or something.
Yeah, they think you're probably crazy. That's all.
Yeah, that's how you can get away with the accent helps a lot. And
Right.
is the main thing. This is how I got into all those spots, like the Dark Knight Hospital.
Dude, you've gotten some like I'm like, how the hell? Like, there's certain things like I understand, like the bridge from Once Upon a Time in America, stuff like that. But then there's certain shots, man. Like I saw the other day, I was looking around at your stuff. And it's definitely it's one of my favorite movies, and it's a place that I cannot wait one day I will get to. And it's probably going to happen next summer because I'm going to go to California next summer. And I need to go to Alcatraz. And you did shots from Escape from Alcatraz. Like, I'm like...
It's crazy, very accessible. You can walk there all day. They don't really bother you.
Yeah, it's just the fact that you were there. Like, I'm looking at your pictures, and I'm like, I can't wait to get where that is because I don't know. I'm fascinated with old prisons and the whole history of it and the escape and all that. And then I love the movie. So that's on my bucket list for sure. Crazy.
Yeah, it's nice area, very cool. We can walk around almost anywhere on the island. Yeah, but those are like basic access for like stuff. For example, like Bruce Lee's apartment where he lived in the 60s during the this stuff, you can't just go in there and knock on the door. You have to know somebody who knows somebody who actually lives there.
Right. And you got in there.
Yeah. I got in there because my friend of a friend, she knew the people who lived there. There were some Russians, they were renting it out. And they had no idea that this is where Bruce Lee used to live for a few years.
I love when that happens too.
I think they had like a letter or something, like a bill that says Bruce Lee, whatever, Lee family. And there was a dress and everything. And then I found a bunch of photos, and then we matched everything, the balcony, the bedroom, the kitchen, everything just was there.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Dude. Now, do you have is there certain spots that you have not been to that are like on your bucket list that are super hard or you can't find or...
Yeah.
There's got to be a ton. I have so many.
There's one that's it's right in my city, but it's just an absolute Fort Knox when it comes to photos. And just for the stupidest reason ever, is the Nakatomi Plaza from Die Hard.
Really?
Yeah, the building, you can see a building from the outside, but all you need is the reception. The lobby area.
Yes.
It's secured so tight, you can't even go through it without, getting harassed by the security.
Really? They won't let you. What if you present pretend like it's something bigger than it is, like my name is Phil the Mad Russian and I'm with Delta Bravo Urban Exploration Team, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, bullshit. I'm filming a documentary or I'm putting together a coffee table book.
I haven't tried it. Maybe it'll work. This is how I got into the hospital from the Dark Knight in Chicago, but that can actually work. Yeah, I gotta try it.
I don't know. Listen, what did somebody said? I think Nako might have said it. It's like, you'd be surprised how far you get with a good attitude, a smile, and a clipboard.
Yeah. Well, my method is actually some tricks I can tell you the way I get it is always.
Yeah, I want to learn because I might steal some of your ideas.
Always have a coffee in your hand. That's number one thing.
A what?
Wear coffee. A cup of coffee in your hand.
Really?
Yeah, it's a not must thing. You have a coffee in your hand, you walk around the coffee or you're standing with your camera or tripod, they don't bother you. You think you're doing something important or something. When you walk in through a place that has security guards somewhere, they walk with a coffee and hold the phone and go like super loud in a different language. I mean, you can't speak.
Yeah.
Queens or whatever. But yeah, this is what you do basically. And it always works. Yeah. The way I got into the hospital leftovers from Dark Knight was it's like 20 miles away from Chicago. I drove in there, I parked my car, I walked in there with my tripod, my coffee, and I said I'm the reporter for the Washington Post, and I'm doing an article about famous spots in Chicago. And this woman over there, she was like, the security guard was like, oh, so what do you want? Oh, well, they shot the building, they blew it up. It was right there on your property. It's a big construction company. It's like everybody's wearing hard hats, so you don't. They just said no touch, no photos, nothing. And she goes, let me call my manager. She takes a walkie-talkie, and then I see the manager coming up in this big tractor, just all pissed off looking, like he shows up. I'm with my coffee, like smiling, talking to her, and then he goes, "What do you want?" And I say, "Oh, I just need to take a picture from the Dark Knight. It's over there." I'm like, "Oh yeah, just go straight line, just be quick." All right, sure. I walked in there. I stayed there for like an hour. That was just me. It's in the corner area.
Really?
Yeah, but the funny thing is, when they shot this movie, before they shot it, it was an abandoned building, and the crew had to clean up everything, put fake windows, clean up all the roads, all the weeds, paint the zebras and actual, stripes on the road.
Yeah.
It was an actual physical hospital. And when I got there, it was all gone. It was just the only thing I could match was the fire hydrant and the pole. But I had to clean up the fire hydrant from all the plants to actually be able to see it.
Yeah.
But that picture blew up my Instagram and also Reddit, because I posted on Reddit and people were freaking out because
Really?
Oh, it was real. I thought it was all CGI. No, oh my god. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I had the opportunity on the podcast that I used to do. I don't know if you saw or listened to it, because I did the YouTube thing too, but I actually had the opportunity, and he's like a friend of mine now. I had the Academy Award winning makeup artist who did Heath Ledger's Joker makeup, John Caglione Jr., which is just weird. It's like I'm going to hang out with him like next weekend. It's like, but he's just like such a nice regular guy, but it's like the things that he's done, it's insane. It's insane, the things that he's done. I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker makeup is iconic. And it's just very, very, very strange the way the universe works when it comes to certain things, man. But so what else you have on your bucket list that you can't get to?
I'm not sure. Well, I already got the Chelsea Hotel in New York.
How is that right now? Because I went there.
Yeah, I went there 7-8 times every year. It was always shut down. It was closed for renovation, this and that. They would never let it in because it was just absolute mess inside. It took them more than 10 years to fix it, and it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful lobby. It's a hotel, but they still have the old people living there on top. The tenants from the 80s, they still live on. Like, I think 40 apartments are occupied by them.
Okay.
But they kept the skylight, they kept the actual staircase over there that was before. So I walked in there and I see this old nice and clean. I walk in straight to the reception and said, I need to get these shots from the Leon, the professional. Look at that.
Yes.
They go, oh yeah, that's sure. Let me just call this guy. This guy shows up like his second day of work at the place. He goes, yeah, let's see which apartment, which floor that is. So we counted the railings. Oh yeah, it's the 6th floor. We just go up there. But that was a holy grail for me because I love the movie. It's like Leon was just like.
Oh yeah, 100%. I've tried to, because there's a lot of stuff that happened in and around that hotel, man. So when I went there, it was probably to get some professional shots, and also the room where the Sid and Nancy room. And I don't know. And when I went there, it was under complete construction and renovation. They wouldn't even let me go anywhere. You know what I mean? I wasn't a contractor or anything like that. So I don't even know, like, does it look similar on the inside? Like once you get past the lobby?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, they haven't changed a bit. Like it's the same thing from the, like once you enter, you get the same walls, just white, and then the.
Oh, okay. So all they changed was basically the ground level for the most part.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, you couldn't do much when it comes to like changing the whole place because it's all right there. You just need to renovate it. But they are still renovating some floors. 6 to 9 floors are still being renovated, and like have to be quiet because people live there. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been in those situations where you're in a building where there's apartments and you hear children playing and people watching TV, and you're in their hallway climbing access ladders to get to the roof and shit. Yeah. Listen, sometimes you have to trespass a little bit. But you're doing it respectfully.
All the time.
All the time. I know. That's what you got to do.
COVID helped a lot because you had almost no people in cars or tourists anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That they get the shot of the Joker in the middle of the street in Chicago
with nobody there is awesome.
It was super easy.
Yeah.
Nobody after 9 p.m. 10 p.m. was already gone. Just clean.
Yeah. Well, I had the same experience during lockdowns, during COVID, and I got Tom Cruise, Vanilla Sky.
Oh yeah, the Times Square, yeah.
Running through. When are you ever going to see nobody in Times Square? And that was like, dude, that was like rush hour on a weekday. There was like
I did see a deserted Times Square during the weekday when I was in 2003 in New York during the huge blizzard. No cars, nobody, no people. 4 p.m. and we're just like silence, just all white silence.
What were you doing there during a blizzard? The only person out of the street. What were you doing?
Yeah, first time ever in the Great America. So I don't know. I'm wearing my sneakers. I don't give a fuck.
Great America. You sound like Borat, man.
Yeah, I'm going to America. Pretty much, yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah, I say that a lot, man. COVID was awesome if you did this kind of stuff. There's no traffic. There's nobody in your shots. It was just a free-for-all. Climbing fences. Nobody's there to even see you. There's no cops around. It's a free-for-all. Beautiful for urban explorers.
Yeah, cops never bothered me, like, ever.
No, cops never bothered me.
They helped me out a couple of times. I was looking for remember the music video by Michael Jackson, Bad?
Sure.
The station, the subway station, the Hoyt Schermerhorn or something. Yeah.
Hoyt and Skimmerhorn.
Yes, Skimmerhorn. Yeah, that's like a down south there, And I went there trying to find the spots from the music video, which is not easy.
No, it's probably changed so much because I'm on the train at 42nd Street Times Square almost every day. And I've looked, I don't know how many times at the end of the movie King of New York, he gets off the train at 42nd Street Times Square. But it's been renovated so much that, I mean, I could guess, but I'm not going to guess and be like, here's the spot because I'm not 100% sure. You know what I mean? It's so hard, especially with trains. There's a famous picture of Blondie on 14th Street on the train platform. I'm not sure where that is. There's nothing identifiable to see if she's on the uptown side. It's almost impossible. It's basically a guess. And I don't like to guess.
No guess. You have to find at least something that matches. Otherwise, it could be anything.
Exactly. Something needs to line up.
We can't have that. No,
we can't have none of that.
No.
That's why Delta Bravo does it better.
Yeah, you lose your face if someone says, no, that's a different station. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's no good. Listen, I've messed up a couple of times and people corrected me. And what did I do? I went, oh shit. And I took it right down. And then I went back and then got it. Like certain things didn't. This was like earlier too, like when I first started doing this and I was going crazy. But yeah, I can't put up something and I'm like unsure. Like this might be it, but no.
Yeah, I mean, the whole fun is searching for it. And the photo is basically just like a little bonus because it's all about the experience of being there. And the funny thing is that if you have some certain location you want to see from your favorite movie and you go there, you finally see it. And then if you watch the movie again, you know exactly what's behind the camera, what's on the left side of the camera, on the right side of the camera.
Yes.
Like this is like a different viewing for you.
It's a completely different perspective on how things are done. Absolutely. All the time. I'll stop there before I take my pictures. I'll take it in for a minute. And there's certain times where, have you ever, I mean, you've probably had the experience where you're standing there and you're just like, holy shit. Like, I can't believe that I'm actually standing here.
Yeah. A couple of times. Yeah. Mainly the famous photo of Black Dahlia sitting on the steps. There's one photo of her by the John Marshall High School where she used to go, and that was taken literally maybe like a weeks before she got killed.
Wow.
And what's interesting is she was sitting on the steps. It's all the same, nothing has changed. Steps all there, the cracks, everything. But when you're sitting there and looking where she was looking, you can see across the street, and you can see exactly what she was seeing because none of the houses and trees are been torn down. They're all there.
Yeah.
That's pretty, that was 1920, 29 or something? 28.
Something like that, yeah. There's certain things that's another thing that I think goes along. See, I try to always make my point where people do just automatically look. I mean, that is the bonus. That's the end result of all of the behind the scenes things that we do is the post on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. But there's so much behind the scenes stuff. Like I swear to God, I never wanted to admit it, but I need to go get an eye examination because my eyes are going. And I'm always on my phone and I'm just reading and looking. I'm just researching so much stuff all the time. I have hundreds of pictures in a folder in my phone that I still need to hit. And then I'll get into like this whole wormhole. Like I've been on like this New York City mafia history shit. And in my neighborhood alone, there's so much history. And it's like me and my girlfriend 2 nights ago, it took us an hour and we hit like 7 spots in the neighborhood of this person got killed here. This is this person's headquarters. This is where this person lived. And then once you do that, you're researching and then you realize how everybody is connected somehow or another. And it's this huge web. And it's almost like I have to put a stop to it or else that's all I'll wind up doing is mafia stuff. Yeah. You know, that's all I wind up doing because I'll get consumed and then my OCD kicks in. All right, well, if I have this guy from the Gambino family, then he's connected with this, and then he did something with the guy from the Lucchese family, and then it just goes and next thing you know, it's a gigantic spider web, and that's all I'm gonna wind up doing. You know what I'm saying?
A lot, yeah, it's true. No,
it's crazy.
When it comes to my thing, it's because I have like a couple, 54,000 followers or something.
Yeah, man. What's up with that, man? You have the most followers out of everybody in the whole damn group, including the CEO, Danny Boy. I had to throw that out there.
Yeah, well, yeah. The thing is, the more followers you have, the more you have to make sure that the stuff you post, everybody knows, like not just to appeal to one certain movie that nobody's seen, or like try to get everybody, the whole world to remember that thing. So there's no PB Urban for me because nobody knows what the fuck he is outside of US.
Right.
Yeah, there's like something.
Really?
Yeah, something never got out or got in the US. Like remember the Belgian movie, cartoon Tintin?
I've heard of it, but I don't know it.
It was a comic book back in the 70s, I believe, Tintin. And we have a movie here made by Spielberg. We had Smurfs. Everyone knows Smurfs. But yet nobody knows who the hell are Asterix and Obelix, which is also a comic book, the same time as Smurfs, same exact city.
Yeah. I have no idea what that even is either.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. Yeah, not everything went through. And and when you get the chance, when you have like me, you live there and here, you kind of know, trying to get common, thing that's pop culture or a movie scene or anything like that. That's everybody will know.
Yeah.
You have to like singles with the rap people, like the rap groups in the 80s. Yeah, I mean Beastie Boys, there's like every picture a day of Beastie Boys.
Sure.
How many posts of Beastie Boys can you do? But
exactly. It's like I hold off. Like I can go. I've done a few. I'm guilty. I've done a few. I grew up listening to them. I understand, but I can't. Not everything has to be an MCA photo.
There's a lot though. Yeah.
There's a lot, and it's great. I mean, I love the Beastie Boys. They're one of my favorites ever. But there's so much. There's so much to do, and that's another thing that I love about this whole group is that there's no like real rules. There's, it's whatever you're into. You know what I mean? Which is awesome. There is a couple of things that you have to do in the Delta Bravo group is you have to put a logo and the full address. That's standard.
Yeah, that's obvious. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I always do. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
to.
But yeah, you're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. I'm sure you see it all the time, abandoned places and all this stuff on Instagram. There'll be like a huge castle, a beautiful broken down castle, but you don't know if that's in Connecticut or fucking Switzerland. They don't write anything about it. It's like, I would like to know where this is, but they don't tell you. It's like they're keeping secrets for no reason. I don't know.
Well, that's what happened with the that Tupac photo shoot, with the fingers.
Yeah.
That secret spot taken by Mike Miller. I believe, yeah, and that was like a super. Nobody knew what it was, but that was a picture when I posted. I will get like a private message almost every day about, "Oh, can you tell me what it is? Where it is?"
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody because, well, first of all, Mike Miller didn't want to tell anybody, and I thought, you just go look for yourself. Try to search it. And then I noticed once I was getting like bigger and bigger, I get all these copycats sort of trying.
Of course you do.
Yeah, popping up, they're sort of posing and then they're buying the same black V-neck, which is like my kind of a trademark thing, I guess. So yeah, the only reason I wear a black shirt is because it's never about me. What's behind me? I'm just
Sure.
like a placeholder, so you can actually go in there and pose. It's
Yeah.
just so. What would I need to change clothes? It's not a whole point of it. Just,
True. Yeah. So what I mean, do you travel around a lot? Like, is your like I'm not trying to be nosy or get into your personal life, but do you have like a job that you're able to travel around in order to be able to travel this much?
yeah, I work as the experiential designer. I basically design like events, movie premieres, pop-up stores, some concerts, anything that involves pulling out your phone, taking a picture of, and sharing on your Instagram, like all the branding moment, basically.
Really?
Yeah, and
That's interesting.
I can do it anywhere in the world. I just need my laptop and just basically Zoom calls and whatever. So that's pretty simple.
Wow, that's kind of cool. How'd you get into that, if you don't mind me asking?
It's kind of like seamlessly. I was doing some graphic design here and there, working, and then I think helped some company in New York do some graphic activations, and then can you also maybe build like a 10 by 10 design 10 by 10 sort of like a footprint or like a little shack or something with a bar inside, all that stuff. So I did it pretty quickly, and we love it. And I was doing it for a while for them, and then word of mouth, you get more and more companies. So I got like 6-7 agencies working at the same time.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, work with Red Bull, Coca-Cola, Netflix, Hulu, pretty much, all the big guys too. So
Oh, that's awesome, man. Like, I wish I had a job. I'm stuck in like 4 blocks from Times Square every day. But like somebody like you and Danny Johnson, he travels all over the place. It's like one day he's in like LA, next he's in Chicago, now he's in New Orleans, now he's in New York. It's like, do you have a job? Like, how do you do this? But he travels with his job. And it's like, I wish I had that. That would be awesome. I mean, I think he might have been, I mean, I don't know, maybe you, but I, off the top of my head, I think he has been in the most amount of states, I think, in hit spots possible.
I don't go that many states. I would just go to the big ones, it's like New York, LA, Chicago and stuff. But
yeah,
usually in the Midwest, everything was the same in Midwest, honestly. It's just, that's the problem with US is, you go to a different state, it's beautiful, awesome, but you got the same road, you got the same Starbucks, you got the same language. It's really the same,
Yeah.
That's why I don't watch sports. Like, you have a sports team here playing different states. I mean, come on, this is just the same people. Literally, like 5 feet away, you got different states, the same people. It's not the same thing as playing like World Cup. You have different teams.
Right.
And when it comes to like World Cup, that's almost the closest to getting to a war without killing each other.
True.
So we have a Germany playing against Poland or John Rush playing. You're gonna get riots. No matter who's gonna win.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. But now I saw that you worked on a couple of short movies or something like that back in like 2013 or something like that, didn't you?
I was doing some stuff for myself, little shorts here there. Now I'm actually working on a full short professional movie. I'm gonna film next month. So that's gonna be
Why don't you talk about it? You want to spill the beans and let people know, or you're not allowed to talk about that?
No. I'm the director and also a producer, and I guess I'm also a visual effects guy too, which is crazy. But it's a short film, but it's got like a dark comedy, and the script is amazing. It's really funny. The guy who wrote the script, he's my friend. He got a bunch of awards for it. So when you have an award, that means a lot of people read it, and I mean it's actually fun. So you don't have a script, you basically failed. That thing. And I work for a company called Cinema Vehicles. They basically supply all the cars for all the shows and movies since the 70s.
Nice.
So I always see all the cars. We have cars from every decade, 40s and 50s, 60s, 90s. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and that's how I get to see like what's coming up next, like New Year. I mean, next year, which movie gonna come out, which show's gonna come out.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Offer?
I haven't. Not yet, but I've heard it's incredible.
Yeah, all the cars are from our backlot. All those, New York style cabs and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a good show. Yeah.
I've heard it was a great show, but no, I have so many shows that I'm either just catching up on or I have to play catch up on because honestly, the only time I ever really watch anything on TV is right before I go to bed. I throw something on until I feel sleepy.
Pass out.
Yeah, and then I'll feel my eyes rolling in my head. I'll get up and I'll shut it off, and then that's it. You know, sometimes on the weekends, maybe I'll watch a little bit more. During COVID, I was ripping through whole seasons. COVID was insane.
We all did.
We all did. It's like my girl, she never watched Breaking Bad. I watched it, so we watched the whole thing. We watched all of Better Call Saul. We watched all of The Walking Dead. I mean, it was insane. Just so much. But no, I've heard nothing but good stuff about The Offer. I'm still trying to catch up on Stranger Things. My daughter breaks my chops. She says I have to watch it.
It's very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on like the third episode of the newest season. But I don't know. I don't know. I'll catch up, and I'll eventually get to The Offer.
And I still need to get my my Sopranos shot. I haven't been to New Jersey yet.
Really?
Yeah, I've been to New York, I think 12 times, but I've never been to the left side.
Dude, what is it? Bloomfield? You have to go into the diner, man.
Yeah. I want to see the diner and everything. Yeah.
That was I've done that one. That was done on a whim. It was like it was like a Sunday night, and it was raining and nasty. It was like the winter. It was disgusting out, and we're in Brooklyn, so like, oh, we're bored. I don't know. What do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. Well, I have a few shots that I would like to do, and next thing you know, we're like on the Jersey Turnpike in crazy rain. There's tractor trailers. I'm like, what are we doing right now? And we went from Brooklyn into Jersey, and I was like, I have no idea. So we walk in there, and we asked for a table, but I asked the girl. I did like, I guess, the touristy thing. And I was like, any chance that we could sit in Tony Soprano's booth? I didn't think you'd even be able to get near the place. She looked over. The place was pretty busy. She looked over. She's like, sure, somebody just left. We just got to clear the table for you. I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. I sat right there. You look, you see the phone booth, and that place hasn't changed either at all.
Yeah, speaking of places to eat that haven't changed, remember the movie Reservoir Dogs?
Absolutely. There's spots I want from that fucking movie so bad.
The beginning scene in the coffee shop, they're eating and talking, you know, that place is still there and looks exactly the same. They're using the same chairs, even the same mugs that guys were drinking in 91.
Really?
Yeah, they have the same paintings on the walls. You can see in the shots. So it's funny, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, see, I'm going to eventually, probably sooner rather than later, because I like lists and my OCD. I know that we're going to go to California next summer. This summer is Texas and Tulsa, and in a couple of weeks we're leaving, and we're driving all over the place. I'm hitting a whole bunch. I'm going to stop at the Outsider's house and see Danny and all that. So
you never been to Tulsa?
No, not yet. This is the first time, and it's long overdue, man. I'm staying at the Greaser Hideout, the Airbnb that he opened up across the street.
Yeah. I saw the pictures. It's amazing.
Yeah, I rented it, and we're gonna stay overnight. And there's so many cool spots that I have a whole itinerary of insanity. We're flying one way from JFK to Austin, and we're driving back to Brooklyn.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the list that we're gonna hit. It's gonna be busy, but it's gonna be super fun, and a lot of places. Like, we talk about it all the time. Like, which is the place that you're gonna stand and be like, holy shit, like the most? And I don't even know. There's like 8 different spots where I'm gonna be like, I can't even believe that I'm here. There's gonna be so much. But anyway, but Reservoir Dogs is definitely on my list of spots to hit.
Dogs, Pulp Fiction, also a bunch of spots that are pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's the pawn shop from Pulp Fiction. It's all there, you know, the same owner since 92, 93. And he's a Russian guy, so we're good friends and stuff.
Oh yeah, your brothers, your comrades.
Yeah, comrades. Yeah, so we talked about this. And it was funny, he showed me a tape. He never showed it to anybody before. He basically, when they were shooting the scene in his place, he recorded the whole thing, the rehearsal of Quentin and Bruce Willis by the door.
Really?
On a little camera. Yeah, he never showed it to anybody. And then I was his place like a couple years ago. He just played it in the tape. It's like half an hour of video of just him shooting the rehearsal and stuff. And I was like, dude, you got to put it on YouTube. I mean, he was kind of scared that they're going to get sued or something. But dude, it's been 25 something years. Come on. No one cares.
Yeah, no one cares. And it's not like you're stealing the movie. It's a rehearsal that you took in your business.
Yeah, that place is like literally the same countertops. And like, he said there was a woman a couple years ago who showed up at the pawn shop, and she looked at this wall clock that was right there, and she paid $400 for a wall clock just because you can see in the movie, in the scene where they
Really?
So yeah.
That's kind of cool though. That's along the lines of what Danny Boy does. Do you see some of the stuff that Danny Boy puts in the Outsiders House Museum? I think it's incredible, but it's along those lines.
Yeah, I love props myself. I have a few props too. I'm actually selling one right now at the auction. So yeah. What
are you selling? Go ahead.
I'm selling it's a facial prosthetic worn by Arnold Schwarzenegger from Terminator 2.
Really?
Small piece, yeah, the whole metal. During the scene, yeah, when he says "Hasta la vista, baby."
Really?
Yeah. It's a whole full piece that was shown. It's like slapping his. It says a little A inside, but it has blood and kind of fake looking metal piece. So, yeah, I had it for like 3 years on my wall, and now just like put it on the prop store to see how it goes. Yeah.
What website is it on? Because I'll just look. I'll look because I love that shit too.
It's just the main one, propstore.com.
Propstore.com.
Yep, that's the big one.
Really? That's interesting, dude. Yeah, it's like, so real quick, like back to, I could be wrong, but I want to, even if it's gone, I want to go to the location where the little warehouse thing is from Reservoir Dogs, where 90% of the movie takes place. That's been torn down, I heard.
It's gone, but if you go outside where Mr. Blonde opens his trunk,
yes,
all the same. It's super easy to find, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. There's so many. Like we need, like I said, we need a full 7 days of driving around from top to bottom all over California, busy, because there's so many spots that I need to hit there.
In my case, when I like looking for spots, I have some rules. Like I have to have the main actor in the shot. You know, I can't have just a house because it has to be more accessible to people, to wider audience, that they see, oh, that's the actor, that's the place. I guess it's the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like more easier than just a house, you know, unless it's like a famous house, like
sure,
Charmed or one of those, you know, things.
Yeah.
Or like Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Right.
Anything.
Huh. You have rules that you live by. I get it. I understand though. That's good. That's like discipline too. You make your life more difficult that way, I think.
Yeah. Well, another rule is I can't do anything that's like recent, like 10 years or less than that. Because it will look stupid. First of all, I have a date on the corner. It says when it happened. So you can see the changes. And if it says like, 2002, 2003,
yeah, it's no good. Yeah, I get it. It's like when Joker first came out.
Oh yeah, everybody did this.
2 days later, there's 9,000 people on the stairs. It's like, dude, you got to wait a little while.
Yeah. Just the same time when the La La Land came out, I literally knew every single spot from the movie. I live all around this area.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. It's silly.
Yeah, it's silly. It's right there. I get it.
Only the new stuff I did was usually with the movie cars. Because I have access to the cars, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the car they had, the American Horror Story, all those things, the Fast and Furious, which is a lot of cars we had. That's
which car in American Horror Story? Which season?
The 1984, the one where they went to the cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
They drove the blue, the green van.
Okay.
Yeah, we have two of those. We have one and one and a spare one. So yeah.
Really? Yeah, there's American Horror Story. Like, of course, I know it's cheesy and people have done it before, but when we go to California, I have to do the murder house. I have to. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, got to do it. There's going to be some that are like, of course, And you know what you mentioned earlier about, with the, I can hold the Hollywood sign. Listen, if I can climb up and take a picture near the Hollywood sign, I'm there. Fuck it, I'm doing it.
It's super easy. I always do that. Yeah, it's my actually hike trail. I go up on the top above the Hollywood sign and go down the whole thing. It's pretty cool.
Oh, so it's easy access to it.
Yeah. It's just a little hike. You need like a little water, like 25, maybe 30 minutes.
Okay. So that's nothing. To get that shot, why not? We've done worse. We've done harder shit to get shots.
Oh yeah, I've been to Death Valley, like I think this year. Yeah, it was wild. I mean, it wasn't that hot, but it was pretty crazy how we can see that. That's the whole thing about those locations is the nature doesn't change. There's no like 10 years, 20 years, it nearly a million of years to get the rock formations to change.
Yeah.
So, the movies like The Great Race with Natalie Wood,
Yeah,
rock she's sitting on.
you did the Searchers. Like, I don't know where that exactly was, but those shots are crazy.
I think that was in Utah or something. I can't remember. That was way off the road. That's actually the Utah is actually a really cool place because everybody does that stupid Forrest Gump thing in the middle of the road. You know,
You did it.
Yeah, of course. Why the hell not? You know,
If I was there, I would do it too. Of course.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, like, there were like 5 people in front of me, like a whole bunch of Asian tourists getting the same shot.
Of course.
But the funny thing, literally, I think 10 minutes away from that spot, off the side of the road, if you drive like in the middle of nowhere, bushes, you're gonna see the archway from Once Upon a Time in the West, the leftover, the remains of the archway.
Yes.
By the way, this is the poster from the Once Upon a Time in the West. This is the Italian poster. It's a bit different than you see.
Yeah. Yeah, I recently saw that picture that you did too. The remains of that arch.
Yeah, I took a little piece of it, a little tiny stone.
I do things like that all the time. Like, I know, like, I've done it too. It was basically the same angle, but you did a top and bottom, and yours is much better because I was almost like still like a rookie doing this stuff. And I went to the Eastern State Penitentiary where 12 Monkeys was filmed. You'd think I didn't take a little piece of like a chip off of that wall, a chip off of Al Capone's, jail cell. I do that all.
Yeah, I wasn't actually sure about that jail. That thing threw me off. I'm not sure he was actually in that jail.
What, in that movie?
No, in real life.
What, who, Al Capone in that cell?
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know. I feel like it's like a little tourist trap. I don't know. First of all, I need some kind of a proof, like a photo or something that, like he was there or something.
Yeah.
It's like a go-to thing for me, so I wasn't sure about that. You always need, because over here we have a place called Roosevelt Hotel. It's a famous old place, all the stars used to go there. And Marilyn Monroe used to live there for like years, like 2 years or something. Okay. And there's a Marilyn Monroe room, which apparently that's where she was staying. And there's not a single photo of her in that room.
Ah.
There's 2 shots of her by the pool, and then, oh no, yes, she was staying there. Yeah, there's a photos hanging from. No, that shit. I don't believe the thing.
You don't believe it's a tourist trap. See, now you have me thinking. Now I'm going to see what you started. I'm going to wind up going and trying to find a picture of Al Capone in that goddamn cell.
Yeah, that would be great if you can actually find one and you can match everything, the cracks and stuff.
Yeah.
When it comes to the props, I just remember the funny story about the crime scene, the Manson cave, the Manson ranch.
That's like stop number 1 when I go to Cali. Spawn Ranch.
That's when I went with Danny, first time ever with Danny, and I didn't know we were gonna go climbing down the whole thing, and I was wearing flip flops because it's hot. So of course, I don't give a fuck about the snakes and shit. So wearing flip flops and working with this guy, I forgot his name. This guy, a little bearded guy. He was like the biggest fan of Manson family ever. Like, he knows everything. He's like, I have the letters from Charles, whatever, that stuff he collects.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you go there because everybody remembers the shot by the Times photographer, the life photographer of the cave, right? Everybody's in the cave and stuff. Well, there's another photo of them with a hammock.
Okay.
There's 2 photos. The whole family by the hammock, 2 trees in the hammock, and then the one with the cave.
Yeah.
So we got the cave, and I'm asking the guy, so where's the hammock shot? What was it taken? Oh, yeah, somewhere there, but I think it all burned down. And I'm like, start looking. I'm walking around. And Danny's all tired, like, let's go get some In-N-Out burger or whatever. Yeah. So walking around like for 20 minutes, and then the trees, one tree, and there's another tree. I'm like, wait a minute, it's literally opposite side of the cave. Those 2 trees. This is where the hammock was. And I look at the thing, and then I look at the tree, and behind the tree, there's a fucking nail that was holding the hammock.
Shit.
Yeah, still there, all rusted up, but that was the one that was holding this hammock in the shop.
You have that nail?
No, I don't need a nail. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. I told our guy,
I don't need a nail.
Shit. The guy was like freaking out completely. He's been there for 30 years. I never seen it before. The guy was absolutely crazy about it. Oh, you gonna be here for 20 minutes? Are you found a spot? Yeah. I mean, it's not that.
But that's what we're here looking for. We look at things that you wouldn't look at. Yeah.
I told him to put a real hammock in there. Just use it, like just for.
I would have taken the nail.
Yeah.
I would have taken it. See, now I know where it is, and if it's still there.
Yeah, it's right opposite the cave. Yeah.
I'm going to take it because that was a nail that hung a hammock that the Manson family was sitting on. See, I'm an idiot. I'll take that and keep it and cherish that stupid shit. I will. It's like I've mentioned it several times on my past podcast and probably even on a previous one of this. Joe Schellinger mailed me a brick from the pet store from Rocky when they demolished it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like one of my favorite things that I have. And people are like, it's a brick. I'm like, no, it's not just a brick, dude. It's a brick. I don't know what part of the store, but it was part of the pet store from Rocky.
Yeah, there's some spot that's still left. Like, remember the movie Blade with Wesley Snipes?
Yes.
There's a scene.
People love that movie. I don't get it, but fine.
I love it. It was great. It was a perfect, perfect Marvel sort of like action superhero movie. Anyway, there's a scene in where they are about to go into the vampire's hideout, which is a club on the street, and they park the car on the alley, and with him and his girl, and she goes, "How do you know this is where the club is?" "Oh, there's a little sign on the wall that says the club." The sign is still there.
Oh shit!
Yeah, the production just drew like a little like chalk, I guess, the stencil, whatever, and it's still there. The sign there's the vampire club across the street, and also the literally next street over is, remember, I found by mistake because I was just driving on the street and I have this photographic memory. I can actually remember the places just when I walked in before.
Yeah.
The Tech Noir Club from the first Terminator movie when he walks into the kill Sarah Connor.
Yes.
That place. So I was driving by and I see his place. I walked in there and it's all shut down. I guess the some renovations, but you can look through it and then was just this long corridor with the poles are all matching. So that was the way they shot it. As I'm looking at that thing, there was a jewelry store next door. The security guard comes out and he goes, "What are you looking for?" "Oh no, I was just like checking this place because I believe this is where they shot the Tech Noir Club from the Terminator." The guy was like, "What? That's my favorite movie. What the fuck? Dude, go home, watch the movie, and come back in the morning."
Yeah, that's awesome. That's another great thing. It's like people don't realize what surrounds them, and they have no idea. And it's like, yeah, man, like that's another reason. Like you learn so much stuff, and I love this shit, man.
Sometimes it's good not to know because you never know who got killed. Like in my apartment where I live now, what happened here and stuff. So it's.
I love that shit. Like one of the spots that I need to go to in California. I need to go to Wonderland Avenue, where that whole thing happened. The 4 on the floor murders. I have to go there. That's like I will not leave California without going to Wonderland Avenue. Gotta do it.
Yeah, you can't really go inside if someone lives there, but you can.
No, I don't need to go inside. I mean, that would be insane if I was able to go inside. That would be, what the fuck am I doing here? That would be awesome. But if I was allowed to, and someone was like, "Yeah, sure," I would go in there in a heartbeat. Crazy.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. Yeah, I mean, this is the whole thing is basically documenting the stuff that happened.
Yeah.
And by posing there, you just tell everybody else that you can actually go there and physically pose too for fun.
And check
it's
it
just
out.
another way of tourism because some people want to take a picture with the Eiffel Tower. You want to take a picture, where someone got shot. Well, it's not necessarily someone got shot, but in the movie they got shot there or something.
Yeah. Oh, I go to spots all the time where people really got shot. It's ridiculous.
You got to be
all that true crime shit. I love all that shit.
You got to be respectful though, like when it comes to there's certain limits you should not cross. Like don't pose as fucking Charles Manson, whatever, because it's just eerie. Or like, if you're gonna take a picture of, if don't go to Normandy and pose as a dead soldier, you know what I mean?
No, Jesus, no.
That's just but it might go that way if you think about it. You don't supposed to do it.
Yeah, you can't go. I mean, if there's a historical picture, like I've done, like. It was like in the 30s, there was a mobster that was killed on like 10th Avenue in Manhattan. It's an old black and white. It's a famous picture. So, I mean, he's dead on the floor, but it's not like, he's a dead mobster, whatever. But I'm not going to be posing like a dead soldier on the beach at Normandy. Jesus Christ. Like, exactly. I have a little bit of taste or tact, You
can stand next to where the place where the mobster was killed. No, just like show this is the spot where it is, but you have to like pose as a mobster.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lay on the floor and pretend I'm dead like the guy. No, I'll mash it together, and this is exactly what happened. And that's a different story. Yeah, you got to have a little bit of class.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man. What are you drinking? You drinking coffee?
Always. I drink like 7 cups of coffee a day.
All right. Well, check this out. Well, there's a couple of sponsors.
I know. Yeah, I sold the coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the first sponsor is Dead Sled Coffee, and you can follow them on Instagram at Dead Sled Coffee. And check it out, Phil, since you're a coffee guy. If you go to deadslaycoffee.com and you type in the promo code Delta Bravo, you get 20% off of your order. And they have everything from cold brew to strong shit to breakfast blends to iced teas. And they do a lot of horror themed and music themed people. Like they have like Kiss and Rob Zombie and Kane Hodder and Elvira and Vincent Price and all kinds of really cool things. And I've drank it before they were sponsors and all that stuff. So it's actually really good coffee.
That's
so
cool. I take my black like my man.
Nice. Large, black, and bitter.
Yeah.
There you go. And the other sponsor is Main Street Jukebox, which is in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. He's also a Delta Bravo guy. Tom, he's a Delta Bravo. He owns the place since 1994. It's a small record shop in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. And follow them at Main Street Jukebox, MAINST Jukebox on Instagram and mainstreetjukebox.com. And if you happen to be in the Stroudsburg area in Pennsylvania, stop by and buy a record. Thank you.
Strasbourg, like Austria, Strasbourg?
What happened?
Strasbourg, like Austria, Strasbourg?
No, Stroudsburg.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. They got Strasbourg there too?
No, Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. It's definitely not like Austria. That's for sure.
No. Yeah.
Definitely not. Yeah, man. So what else is going on? You have any closing words? Follow this guy, Phil, on Instagram. And it's just your name. It's Phil _
Grishayev.
Grishayev. See, I almost fucked it up again. GRESHAYEV. Phil _ Greshayev on Instagram.
Yeah, but I don't post much. I mean, post much stuff like once every couple of weeks or something. But
yeah. Well, isn't that part of like the whole algorithm of Instagram? If you post too much, then you kind of get shadow banned and all this nonsense.
It could be, but I think it's less is more, and just it's quality, not quantity.
True.
Yeah.
And like I said before, man, your stuff is quality, bro. So it's a good thing. And the only thing I ask anybody is share it, post whatever on your Instagram or whatever, and just if you go to Delta Bravo mission statements on Instagram, there's the link in the bio for everything Delta Bravo related. The website where you can buy, all the swag and all the Facebook groups and everything are all there. And everywhere where you can get this, the YouTube channel and the whole deal. So Delta Bravo mission statements on Instagram, the link in the bio, just follow it and share the podcast. That's all. Just let other people know about it. I don't make money off of this. Nobody makes money off of this. It's something that we love to do. And that's the only reason why I do it.
I actually did make some money off my Instagram for a while.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying the podcast itself.
It's actually, I want to tell this story because this is a funny moment too.
Sure.
So there was a streaming channel called Filmstruck.
Okay.
It's like TCM. They were specializing in old movies like 40s and 50s. And they reached out to me and asked, hey, can you maybe take a post from our movie collection and we're going to pay you like $400 a post. Oh, sounds good. Let's do it. And I did a bunch of posts. But the funny thing is, I asked them, can you send me the list of your movies that you have? Holy fuck. The fucking Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, that's like 1912, 1915. I'm going to find those spots. And everything is, because back then the movies were in the square. It's like a 4x3, not a 16 by wide. So,
right.
So you had to pick two of them and then put two in the bottom to fit in the Instagram things.
Yes.
Yeah, but I barely found some shots. It's just,
Jesus. They're putting you to work, man.
Yeah. And then the channel was swallowed by Time Warner or something, but yeah, it didn't last long, but it was a good idea, just the classic movies.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, listen, dude, I appreciate your time. And you were super easy to, get on here. And I'm glad that you are willing to bullshit with me about all this whole Delta Bravo stuff. And like I said, just share this if you want. If not, that's cool too. No harm. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, bro. And You do awesome stuff, so keep it up, my man.
Thanks.
Big Phil, my newfound friend, Phil, my man.
Phil the Russian.
Phil the mad Russian.
The man rush.
Yes.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, brother. Be safe.
You too. Take care.
Later.